Wow, did a cruise line just make it harder for cruise tubers, cruise influencers to do their job? And the internet is ablaze today with the burning question, what happens if you die on a cruise ship? And I got to tell you about a couple that made a huge mistake, and they're so upset about it that they've started canceling cruises. Yeah, all that and more on today's episode of The Cruise Show.
All aboard! Your ship is leaving. Talking about everything going on and cruising. It's the Little Loca time. It's the cruise show. It's the cruise show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to The Cruise Show. I am your host, Tony, a self-professed lover of cruising. I'm here to talk about everything going on in cruising. And if we're kindred spirits, consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's go. First story, we have an interesting ban of camera equipment coming from MSC Cruises. They've put out announcements. They've started posting that wearable cameras will not be allowed in public spaces on their cruise ship. Now, there's been a rise lately in wearable cameras. You go back to Google Glass. If you remember these things, they were not that discreet. But fast forward here to 2025, Facebook, Meta now has a collaboration with Ray-Ban, the Tom Cruise classic from Risky Business Ray-Bans, where they embed a camera in front of the glasses. And it allows the wearer to, tap the glass. I don't know how it works. Maybe it's voice activated, but it can start recording in a point of view, a POV of what's going on in front of the glasses wearer. When the camera is recording, a red light comes on. I believe it's red or white light, so that the people around the camera wearer know that it is recording. But that's not good enough. MSC says we don't want any hidden secret type cameras in our public spaces recording people unawares. Now, I think that's fair. And an interesting thing to note about MSC is they're not a publicly traded company. They're based in Europe, and the privacy rules in Europe significantly more stringent than the privacy rules in the United States. In the US, particularly, anytime that you're in public, there's no expectation of privacy. And certainly, even on a cruise, when you're in public, you're going to be videotaped by the cruise line. Particularly, there's cameras everywhere. But again, they're more stringent about this in Europe, in the European Union, than they are when it comes to US. So it's not a big surprise that MSC would make a rule like this, where they want to make sure that they're doing what they can to protect the privacy of people. And this just doesn't apply to influencers. This applies to any person that would purchase these Meta, wearable technology. So it's really, I don't think it's targeted at influencers, but it could impact. I was considering getting those glasses. The reason I probably haven't gotten them at this point is I would have to go through the process of getting prescription lenses put in those glasses. And I'm very much into frictionless activities, and getting the prescription thing going on was enough friction for me not to get them. The other thing about those glasses is they only shoot vertical, and primarily most of the video that I shoot for cruise content horizontal, and so that was another one. What do you think? Do you think this is a good move to protect the privacy of guests? The fact that everybody can walk around with a cell phone and take a video, it's less discreet. I mean, you kind of know when people are taking video with their cell phone. Do you think maybe a move should be made for cell phone filming, which I think would be almost impossible on cruise ships? What do you think about this? Leave a comment below. And I guess since we're talking about MSC Cruises, let's talk about this. MSC Cruises opened the bookings for the MSC World Atlantic. This is going to be one of the next cruise ships in the world-class cruise ships for MSC. I've been on the MSC World America, a wonderfully beautiful cruise ship. They're going to be sailing from Port Canaveral, November of 2027. They're going to be doing 7 nights and 14 nights Eastern and Western Caribbean sailings. And now if you want to book that, you can book that. Have you been on one of these world-class cruise ships for MSC? It's really MSC to the next level. We talk about MSC as a company that is trying to make inroads in North America. They're a world player when it comes to cruising. They're backed by one of the world's largest cargo shipping companies, MSC Mediterranean Shipping Company, and the cruise branch of it just continues to come to North America and try to get people to cruise with them. They had to be super excited about the ill will that Carnival has generated by their change in their loyalty program, because they have a loyalty program match. And I've heard of tons of people that are going to MSC, matching their Carnival loyalty and trying a new cruise brand. this was probably an unexpected, maybe not unexpected, but an unwelcome thing that happened for Carnival. But yeah, MSC continues to try to take over the world. What do you think? Leave a comment below. The next story is a story that I'm curious as to how many of you people even know who I am talking about. This definitely is someone from a younger generation, but because I dabble in so much social media, I knew exactly who this was. JoJo Siwa is hosting a full-on fan cruise. And I guess the headline I'm reading is like, yes, this is real. The JoJo Siwa cruise will happen June the 12th through June the 15th, 2026 on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. And it's a JoJo fan adventure. I was just looking through some of the details on it. There's going to be a lot of interaction with JoJo. But the thing that we want to know is what's the exclusive merch? You can get an official JoJo Siwa cruise bow for $22. Any JoJo fans out there? Is this something you would like to do? I wonder if they'll book this thing up. I'm sure they will. What celebrity would you go on a cruise with? That would be interesting fodder for the comments are open. I don't know if I told you guys that. Normally they open right up when the video comes out. So if you're hesitant to go down there and let your opinions be known, go to the comments. Yesterday, I asked at the end of the show, should I dance, juggle, or do nothing? I got a lot of positive comments, and I know that the nothing people are going to be sad to know that they did not win. So I'll be doing something at the end of the show, but it's going to be our secret time for people who like it. So, you know, at the end, when I say thanks for watching the show, if you're not into any more fun, if you're just here for whatever this part is, you can go away and you'll have your nothing. The weirdest thing to me is I put that extra stuff at the end of the show, and then people will watch it and tell me they hate it. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, I've done it consistently enough so that you know that it's the last thing that I do. So I'm kind of giving people an off-ramp. And so if something like dancing annoys you, or if you don't like circus arts, or if juggling makes you, I've been called stupid for enjoying my hobbies. So it's a weird thing to me, but I think it's stupid that you would stay and watch something that you don't like just so that you could say you don't like it. But look, we all have our different definitions of what stupid is, and we're not here to debate that. What I am here to tell you is there'll be some days where after I say that's the end of the show, there will be extra stuff. And for everybody that wants the extra stuff, stick around. Stick around. I do have a great idea for cruise lines. Let me tell you about this. There is a question swirling around the internet. Yesterday, I talked about the poor guy, Michael Virgil, who in a lawsuit, it's alleged that he was served 33 drinks in the very beginning of his cruise on embarkation day. Then he goes on a wild rampage and he gets, subdued by security, passes away, and it's ruled a homicide. This is all in the lawsuit. And now all of a sudden the family's suing Royal Caribbean. That's all going to play out. But because of that, and the big thing was, they put his body in a refrigerator somewhere. And so the swirling question on the internet today is, what happens when you die on a cruise ship? And it's very simple. If the cruise ship has a morgue, they're going to put you in the morgue. And if they run out of room in the morgue, then they may have to use some of the other refrigeration systems that they have on board to put your body. Famously, somebody went viral, I think a year ago, for talking about the ice cream parties on a cruise. That if you see an ice cream party on a cruise, I don't know if this is true or not, but if you see an ice cream party on a cruise, it's because they needed to clear out a freezer to store a body. But what I thought is, wouldn't it be a great money-making opportunity, straight to the bottom line, for the cruise line if they offered premium morgue space? Right? Like, you can already, book something like a cruise within a cruise. You can be elevated to the highest part of the cruise in life. Maybe they should do that in death. So you can either go to like the ice cream fridge, or you can maybe you could get in a morgue that's in, I don't want to say anybody's brand. That seems rude. But, any of these brands that have a ship within a ship concept, maybe they could have a upgraded morgue there. Did I just make somebody $1 million? Maybe. Cruise lines, if you implement morgue within a morgue, I'm looking for my cut. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about a couple that made a huge mistake, and the response they got from the cruise line made them so annoyed that they started canceling cruises with the cruise line. This was posted over on Reddit. It's a couple who was cruising on Virgin Voyages. And, the worst day of the cruise is disembarkation day, when they kick you off the cruise. So these people packed all their stuff up. They left. They went to the airport. And when they got to the airport, they realized that they did not have their wallet, their passport, their keys, essentially anything that was in the safe, because before they left the cabin, they did not check the safe, which is a huge mistake. Now, if you're a new cruiser, if you're a seasoned cruiser, before you leave, you almost like, if you're not good at it, you need a checklist. You need like a piece of paper that says, I checked all the drawers, I checked the bathroom, I checked under the bed, I checked the safe. Now, fortunately, I don't even know how this worked. They said they were able to fly home, that they were on some sort of secure thing, that they were able to fly home. But once they got home, they reached out to Virgin Voyages and said, hey, lost and found. We lost our stuff in this cabin. This is the cabin we were in. Can we get our stuff back? And now they're on Reddit saying that they haven't had a timely response to that. And they're just basically asking, well, you know, what's the problem? Why don't they have my stuff immediately found? And what's the dealio? And people are chiming in saying, look, there's 4,000 cabins and, you know, they're trying to flip them over in 4 hours and your stuff has to be found in the safe and then taken to a process where it gets logged in. And then eventually it will show up in the lost and found system. It's not an expeditious process is what some of the other commenters saying. I've heard of people leaving stuff in a safe and, you know, getting it returned, but apparently this is not happening quickly enough for the people that left their stuff in the safe. And so they're so angry about it, the poor response they feel like they're getting, they're so angry about it that they've canceled 2 of their Virgin Voyages cruises. I mean, look, everybody can do what they want to do, right? It's their priority to be angry, but it's their fault. They're the ones that left the crap in the safe. Maybe it's a good cautionary tale for all of us that, you know, it's probably not going to be an easy thing to get your stuff back if you leave stuff in the safe. Hence, therefore, and ergo, don't leave stuff in the safe. Now I'm going to lose something on my neck. You know, that's the karmatic response of the universe. Okay, big boy, you're being harsh on the people that lost some stuff. Wait till you see what you lose next. No, I'm not really trying to be hard. I'm just trying to say, if you got to be careful, you got to check everything. Make sure that you don't leave it. What would be the appropriate response time? How quickly would you expect a cruise line to get back to you? I don't know. Look, that's everything that's going on in cruising. Thanks so much for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tony for La Lido Loca. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Hey, are we still here? I think I'm going to do it like this. We're going to have our own little secret club. Look, I didn't bring any of my juggling props today, so really now there's nothing left to do but dance. Get up. Get up.
I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching.